Welcome guys to the placement oriented coding tutorial by your host and host Mr. Suraj Pawar sir from Leadsoft Placement Academy. So in a last video tutorial we guys have seen how we can solve list sum sub array. If you haven't checked with that video, go to the coding question tutorial and playlist, and there itself you guys can check with that. Well, the today's question that we guys are going to take, that will be the most popular question ever, which has been asked in last of TCS drive, as well as in Atos Syntel, as well as in Accenture coding round. So out of these three company, the questions have been asked in different time slots of the zones. So we have collected with that along with some sort of sample test cases, and question is really very interesting. Trust me, the question is really very interesting. If you gone through with that questions, you will understood what is that importance when it is coming to the logic building. Okay, if you guys are new to our channel, please give us the thumbs up and subscribe button, because once we upload the video you will get that notification and you can see that in a first 1 hour. Okay, let us start with this. So here the question we will have, that is what, cut and add. As far as you guys can see, the name of question is really simple, but when you try to read the question, it is comes to very difficulty. But where the difficulty comes, there itself our team from Leads of Placement Academy is ready to serve you, and again here we are come up with the new solution. So let us put it in a reading mode and check with that what is this exactly all about. So this question is named as cut and add. What is this cut and add exactly so far? So this cut and add says we have two members. Okay, just read the question. Harry and Potter took a word string. So we have the input of a string data type. That is the input we supposed to have. So Harry choose a number m. There is an input of m again, but here in the condition m is less than the length of the string. So it is already given in a test cases. We don't want to check about that. And the Potter, the second person, is going to choose the value of n. And again in the same approach, the n is also the less than of the string. Most ever, to make sure about this round bracket data, we really not required to write the condition, because it will always matches to the given test cases. Again, next to this, what will be the operation that is going to perform for this problem statement is what? Harry will cut m alphabets. Okay, we have a string, and out of that string, m alphabets from the Harry is going to cut. But from where it is going to cut? It is going to cut from the end of the string. So from the last I have to cut how many alphabets? M alphabets from the Harry. And then I have to add it to the beginning. Add it to what? Beginning, and we'll give it to the Potter. Means Harry is going to perform cutting the m alphabets, whatever the value of m, whether it's 1, okay, like here given 1, or in the second example again it's mentioned 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it may be. So that number of alphabets we have to cut it from the end and add it to the beginning, and whatever the string is going to form, we have to give it to the Potter. Well, what next the Potter is going to do? The Potter will also cut the n alphabet. Again the Potter is going to cutting the n alphabets from, again where? From end of the string. But the Potter will apply that operation on the string which is given to the Potter, which is what? Updated by Harry. So we have to add that string again to the beginning and give it to the Harry. Well, it's a play, guys. Yes, they are playing with us by just adding the characters, putting at the start and giving to the Harry and Potter. But what is the next step? This process will continue. So the same process I have to be continue till they get the original word string back. That is where I have to be stopped. And for given a string, given the values of what? M and n, so we are going to be given three inputs, string m and end, and we have to find out how many number of turns in which they get the original word string back. Let us understood the input and output specification for the problem. So the input specification given here, input 1 must be the word string, input 2 is the value of m, and input 3 is the value of n. And in the output we are going to return what? Number of turns to get the original string. It may be again in a integer data type. So let us understood this same logic that we guys have just describes along with an example. So input 1, as mentioned, it's a original string, that is what A B C D E F. Okay, this must be the value of m and this must be the value of n, and the output here returns with a 4. But how come 4? So to understood that, I have to understood the turn 1. Well, the turn 1 will be generated by Harry. Okay, as per the problem statement, what they mention, the Harry will cut how many alphabets? M alphabet. What is the value of m? That is what? 1. So 1 alphabet, from where it is going to cut? At the end of the string. So at the end of the string, what we will have? F. So that I am going to delete. So F I am going to delete. But where I'm going to add this m? At the beginning. See, in the turn 1, F will come at the beginning, and rest of alphabets, the 5 alphabets are like the same, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, turn 1 from the Harry is done. Now turn 2. So turn 2 will be done by Potter. What the Potter will done? Potter will also going to cut the n alphabets. What is the value of n? That is what? 2. So 2 alphabets from the turn 1 string. Remember, from the updated string, not from the original one. So from the updated string, the 2 alphabets are going to delete. So how many alphabets? D and E. And they are going to add it to the first, and rest of alphabets are same. So Potter done, Harry done. So 2 turns are done. Again the same way, Harry is going to delete 1 character and add it to the beginning. Rest of characters are same. Yeah, that's right. And again at the same thing, the 2 characters from the Potter is going to delete and add it at the beginning, and hence, like you guys can see, this is the result that matches with the original string word, and we are receiving it at the turn 4, and that is what the reason the output is what? 4. Okay, this is how simple it is. Well, is this simple? Put me there in a comment section. Well, it's simple or not. Anyway, we guys are going to check with the code, and again the second input test cases also we are going to check with. Well, what is this logic all about? Some of you guys might think we should have to use recursion. Well, I must say, to solve with this logic, you should not go for the recursion, because we are having different values of m and n. If you are having only one input and there the character is updating and adding back and adding, doing the same one, in that case it is better to go with recursion. But there are 2 different values of m and n. M, it works with the Harry, n is works with the Potter. Well, in that case we are going to use some loopings, and using the loopings we are going to try to solve with this logic. But most important question which comes at this point of input, guys, this input is a string value, but coming to string, whether if I am considering with Python program or if I am considering with Java programs, for both of the programming language, it's immutable in nature. Well, what is meant by immutable? I cannot update any single character. I cannot able to perform insert or delete the character from the string. Oh my god. Now the question, how I am going to perform the task on it? Well, if I am working on Python programming, what I am going to do, I am going to convert that string into the list, and then I can perform all the operations, kind of deletion, kind of insertion, and everything easily can be done using the list. But the most important thing is I have to convert them the list, because the list is mutable in nature. Oh my god. So certain code in my mind right now jumping. Sir, please go forward and type the code and just let us check whether the test cases will pass or not. Let us do that without any single minute. So I'm going to create a Python file. Let me open the Python file here. So ideally I'm going to be open, and instead of creating the new file, I'm going to be update last one code. The last one code that we guys have generated, I guess it is something product array. All right, so sorry, sub array code, list sub array code that we guys have generated. So let me first write the skeleton. So as far as the question concerned, they haven't mentioned any coding function name or something, but I'm going to write it here as a task. And to the function, I'm going to pass that string value, the value of m and the value of n. Let me write that skeleton. So I'm going to say def task, and that string, let us say string 1, the value of m, value of n. So I'm going to write that code later, but before this I wanted to write the string inputs. So string input should be what? Let us say string 1 equals to input, whether it's space separated or without space separated, all the things are going to be captured and store it to the string 1. Again, the value of m also we are going to take, that is integer input, and the value of n also we are going to take, that is integer input, and I have to pass it to the function that I got generated, that is the name task, and from the task I am going to return the number of turns into the integer. So I am going to say result equals to task of string 1 comma m comma n, and then I am going to print the result. Okay, this is the skeleton, guys. Now let us work on a code where I have to perform all these tasks and I have to get them generated. So what next I am going to do here is simply, the first thing I am going to do is to convert that string from immutable data type to the mutable one. So for them, I'm going to make them return as, let us store it in a string list variable equals to list of string 1. Yes, so that I can able to perform the operations. Now I have to create that count or number of turns initially as a 0, and I'm going to iterate over the list. Okay, I'm going to iterate over the list, and I really don't know how many turns that is going to be working on. So instead of writing the length of the string, I must say as a infinity numbers. Well, for that I'm going to use the dynamic while loop. So I'm going to say while true, which means for all the time the condition of while is true, and then they have to perform some certain task. What task they are going to be performed? So first task is done by the Harry. What the Harry is going to do? Harry says he will cut the m alphabets. How many alphabets? M alphabets from the end of the string and add it to the beginning. Add it to where? Beginning of that string and give it to the potter. Well, to done with this, I'm going to write a for loop, because that value of m would be of 8, in a hidden test cases would be of 10, would be of 5, or would be of 1, whatever it may be. We will try to solve it by using the for loop. So I'm going to say for I in the range of m, so m times the loop is going to run. So I'm going to delete, for every iteration I'm going to delete one value from the last, and then I'm going to add it to the beginning of that string list. Now to delete the value from the string, if you haven't checked the videos of how the operations are going to perform on a list in a Python tutorial, I will recommend you to go to our Python playlist, and from there you can check how the delete operations are going to be performed. Well, to delete that operations, you guys needs to works with the pop method, and to delete the last element I can directly say -1 index. So using that pop I can able to delete the last element. So for every of iteration I'm going to say elements equals to that string list dot pop of -1. Okay, I'm deleting the element for every single iteration. If the m is 1, one time it is going to perform. If m is 2, two times it is going to perform. What next is, I have to delete the element and add it to the beginning. Now to add it to the beginning, again the list operations you required to add them to the beginning, and to add them to the beginning we are going to say string list dot insert method. Why the insert method? because I have to choose my own index, and beginning index means what? 0, and the value is going to add it as an element. Well, the Harry operation done, which means my turns 1 is done. So after the for loop, I am going to increment the turns count by the +1. And after incrementing the turns 1, I will going to check one more time, because it's an infinite while loop. I have to break them somewhere else. And to make sure about that, I'm going to say if that str list is equals to the original list of string 1. If that is matches, well, I will break the loop. Well, what I'm going to do, if that is matches after the turn 1, I'm going to break the loop. If that is not matches, again one more time the potter operation has to be done, and the potter is going to delete the element again by the n times, which means same operation in the for loop is going to perform, but till n times. So it must be like this: for, okay, I again in the range, instead of m I'm going to say n, and I will delete the element from the last, okay, same operation, and I'm going to add the element at the beginning, because potter also needs to perform the same operation. And after the potter operation perform one more time, I'm going to check the whatever the string list that we are forming is matches with the given list of the string or not. If it is matches, I will break the while loop. And after completion of while, once the while is going to break, whatever the turns, okay, one more code is left. As the potter done with their turn, so one more time the turns has to be increased by the +1. And once the while loop is going to be break, I am going to return that turns from here. This is how simple it is. Let us check the output by providing the inputs in the same problem statement. Let me just open with the input. So we have the input of capital ABC, D capital EF, and 1 2. So let us check. So I'm going to run with this. So first input is string ABCDEF. What is the value of M and N? M is 1, N is 2. So let us perform. M is what? 1, and is 2. And what is the output? Yeah, it returns the same. Now to understood with the explanation, what I'm going to do, after like printing all the turns, like after incrementing for each and every turn, I'm going to print the value of turns along with the value of that string. And to make them form in a string, I will convert that string list into the string data type. So here also I'm going to print it, and after incrementing the turns, here also I am going to print. Now you guys will understood this. Let us run one more time. ABC, DEF, 1, 2, and see the changes. So instead of converting them in a string, I will say join operation. That would be works easily. So again dot join of string list. Alright, let me do the same thing here also. Like we can able to get along with an explanation. All right, let me run it one more time. So again A B C D E F 1 2. So at the turn 1, okay, check the explanation one more time. In the explanation also same thing is given. At the turn 1, the value form is what? F A B C D E. Turn 2 is D E F A B C. Turn 3 is C D E F A B, and the turn 4 where the list is matches and the loop is getting break, and hence the output got printed as a 1. Now let us check for the input 2, guys. So here I'm going to run. Okay, so these are the inputs. Let me get back. So what is the input? ABC, value of M is 1, and let me check what is the value of N. Okay, N is also 1, and what is the result? 3. And now let us check with the explanation. Let me add it here. So you guys can see what is the explanation comes with. Okay, first turn CAB, that's right. Second turn BCA, and the third turn ABC one more time. Again, a lot of students are demanding me to share the code for the Java in the comment section. Well, we are good enough to create the Java code also, but my pure suggestion to you is, as you are coming here at the last of the video, so you will understood the complete logic towards the code. So my suggestion is at least try to convert at your side from your section. And if you don't know how to convert, or if you're really fail with that, well, my number is there in my description. You can put me in a WhatsApp message, or you can give me a call to resolve your issue. But please be make sure these kind of questions would be there for your next of upcoming placement that you guys are going to be faced with. So do prepare along with the same. And but obvious lastly, our takeover line, if you guys have really learned something about the coding approach related to the problem statement, then please do give us the thumbs up. That will be a great motivation for us. And do share to the needful people, you know what, who are the needful peoples. And stay tuned for the next video tutorial. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Bye bye, take care.